a human. Like I'm like one of the biggest things, which is one of the reasons why I decided to kill being bench, is because at some point I felt like there's this God thing, you meet someone and you're like, oh man, who are you? I'm being bench. Like, but that's not who I am. I'm not being bench. My name is Benjamin Abbey. That's who I am. That's who I am as a person. Being bench is just a handle. It's just like an alias.
mm.
I feel like at some point I lost sight of what's important to me in life. And for me, fame is no longer like a thing. It's no longer a priority. Whether I have one subscriber, currently I have 10 subscribers on YouTube and I love it. It's amazing.
Mm.
I opened and I've got another Instagram account, which is not being bent, which is the one that I use all the time. And I had 100 followers and I follow back most of the people and I loved it. But now it's growing and I'm like, no, stop growing. Stop growing. But I can't stop people from following me. And, it's like,
Mm,
okay,
mm, mm.
here we go again. But like, I want to be able to be human. I want to be able to like, I want you to come after a bad day and watch something and be like, yeah, dude, I went through that as well.
Mm.
Yeah.
You you mentioned earlier, just to bring it back, the whole messy minds thing. I don't remember the exact quote, but I was reading a book. I think it was called Wired to Create, and the sentiment that I remember was that creative people are both highly what's the word? Highly, they show signs of being highly mentally ill and also highly mentally stable. Like there's a mix, there's a lot of both. And I think it's because a lot of what we do is connected to our emotions, our feelings. For us to do a lot of the stuff that we do, we have to in some ways be in touch with both the really good side of ourselves and the really dark sides of ourselves. And when you walk in those places in your mind, it's obviously going to come out and people are going to see it more often. They're going to be exposed to the insecurities, the ambition and the hubris and all of these things, and it ends up spilling over. I also had like a change, rebrand, change my name. This is not who I am. This is the new me in multiple aspects of my life. Initially, at home, they call me Tony, and I grew up as Tony. My name is Wellington, obviously. I'm named after my father, so they gave me Tony because he's Wellington Senior, and I'm. So they were like, okay, let's just give, because they didn't want to give me Junior, so they gave me Tony, like Ton at the end of Wellington. And then at some point I was like, nah, this isn't me. I'm Wellington, and I forced everybody. I've rebranded everybody. There's the few people who still stick to the old name, which there's nothing I can do because they're my parents. But I did a whole thing as well, and I genuinely think that